Greetings dear viewer, here we have my original Xbox with monster cables plugged into a RetroTink-5x, and that is plugged into a M cable plugged into a Elgato HD 60S, and that is plugged into my Rainbow Maker, and that is plugged into a TV. The game being shown today is Dynasty Warriors 4, developed by Omega Force, published by Koei, and released for Xbox in America on September 30th, 2003. See, there's those Koei guys I was talking about, and look, even Omega Force. Sorry about skipping the cutscene, but my disc is quite scratched, and I was too lazy to resurface it. The main purposes of the RetroTink for myself and my setup, it would be for deinterlacing, depending on which games force it or not, and then it would be for resolution changing and cropping of the image to get me a better looking picture. I have to sit it down at 720p resolution though, because if I don't, the M cable gets a little finicky. Here you can see I set the pre-emphasis to -3. Pre-emphasis is probably one of the things I fiddle with the most now that I have a RetroTink, and all it is depending on the value, will sharpen or smooth the image. Dropping that value down to -5, the image almost becomes downright blurry, and for most games I probably wouldn't use a value this low, but there may be one or two cases in which it may be necessary. Here is demonstrating the highest positive value of +3, sharpening the image to an almost extreme extent. Here I set the value to -1, and that ends up being probably my favorite for this game. In some games I prefer +1, but -1 is a pretty safe bet considering it smooths the image just a little bit and allows my M cable to do the rest. Here I demonstrate another super duper cool feature with the RetroTink. It'll actually simulate scan lines right on your image if you want it to, which doesn't sound so cool, but in practice it's actually really neat because it kind of takes advantage of how older graphics were kind of designed. It allows them to, I think interpolate is the correct word a little bit. So the natural jaggedness of these retro consoles was kind of diminished because of the large big fat pixels interpolating everything, and now when you can simulate that like this, that is just the most bonkers thing ever, and I love that. But it is very finicky. For my recording it doesn't look so cool, but for my main screen I was playing on it looks cool, and then vice versa, if it looks good on my recording it probably doesn't look good on the screen I was playing on. With what little motivation I had left for finishing this video, I set my pre-emphasis back down to -1, and I just started playing the game to capture the rest of this footage. I hope you noticed those slowed down shots earlier, and they really showed how smooth everything is. There is no like accidental frame drop or interlacing in there. It looks really nice. Everything with this is a very customizable experience, so I plan on going from game to game and just showing what it kind of looks like for me and like putting 1080p on YouTube. I've got a huge collection of games I'm ready to do this with, and this was pretty much the final step to whether or not I can actually do like an actual gaming channel. I want to do like full-on 20-minute, 30-minute long gaming videos. I want to do a review on this game. I want to do a review on all sorts of games, and I'm happy to be able to finally do that. I'd like to take just a second to appreciate how fucking absurd all this is right now. We got enemy soldiers sliding around, we got giant fucking fans, we got a guy going, "Come!" If you've made it this far, first of all, thank you for watching, and second of all, I'm going to assure you that in the future I'll have a little bit more structure to this video. I kind of just recorded it in 30 minutes on the day I got my retro tank, and I haven't really had the nerve to voice act it until now, and here we are, and it's very disjointed. I feel like it's not the educational piece of media that I wanted to have, but it is a good example of what not to do. So in the future, we're probably going to have to record longer segments of just, here's an example of gameplay with this pre-emphasis and this filter and yada yada yada. And I'd like to do that piecemeal game by game just to produce content. And eventually, once there's a minimal following of people, I'd like to start doing those retrospectives and analyses and reviews that I was talking about earlier. Again, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great one. Thank you. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye.